I think it's important for you to know about my sight. I have retinitis pigmentosa. I was trained at the Lighthouse to use my cane. So I'm a person who has seen the world from both sides. I have seen the world as a place of no barriers, no interferences at all. And now I can tell you that this is a world that is filled with barriers. When I walk into a museum, people usually meet me at the door, and I need to have a description of the entire place. I want to get a feeling for this museum, the space in the museum. What you do with your eyes, I need to use somebody else's voice to tell me with their own eyes what I am experiencing, and that adds so much more to my perception and to my experience in a museum. When I walk in the museum, I have to know where the gift shop is. I want to know where the coat room is, where everything is in that lobby. When I go upstairs into the gallery, I want to know what color carpeting's on the floor. I want to know what color the walls are. I want to know how the paintings are hanging on the wall, whether there are single paintings or whether they're hung in salon style, one on top of the other. This, as I said, really adds to my experience. I have become an accessibility self-advocate. I believe I've been put on this earth to teach people that we are whole. There might be, we are all different. Everybody is different in many different ways. And I believe that there are many ways to get to where you want to go. And one of the ways to make a museum accessible for me is this verbal imaging that we've been talking about, and also the tactile, the touch tours that have become a part of the program at the Jewish Museum. When I have groups coming to the museum, we meet our groups at the desk, at the entrance to the museum, in order to help them into the museum. At the Jewish Museum, and the other part I want to talk about are these touch tours, which I have learned from art education from the blind. I have been involved with them for many years, and I was part of the work that all the research they were doing before, and I am using all the skills for myself that they were researching at that time, the raised drawings. It has just been miraculous for my experience in art. What we have done at the museum is to reach into our own collection. We have a fabulous collection, our permanent collection, and what we created, and I have some descriptions of it here, is called a tableau vivant. And what we do is, I've selected certain paintings. The painting you see here is it's called Friday Evening. It's of a woman sitting at a table. She's very pensive. It's by Isidore Kaufman, painted in the early 20th century. And he is really reminding us about these different communities that were being lost because life was changing so much at the beginning of the 20th century. I think, so what we did with this work, for example, in the work she's wearing this beautiful costume and the kind of clothing that somebody would wear living at that time. And there's lace on it, so of course we had pieces of lace that people could touch. I had a friend who had a computer. He replicated these paintings in actual size for me on the computer. It was truly amazing. So the museum has a collection of copies of their works. When groups come to the museum, first we take them into the classroom. And we have that painting for anyone who has low vision. They can see the painting. And then we have made models. They are not exactly the same, but they are the models, Richard, that you were talking about, to give a sense of three-dimensional models of what someone would be able to see in the painting. And we literally set it up. There's a table here. On the table are 2 lit candles in candlesticks. There are the challahs on the table. I made those out of clay, the kind of clay that that dries very quickly. And again, the tablecloth. The painting is unfinished, so it really has a wonderful 21st century atmosphere to it. So we create the whole atmosphere of the painting. Then what we do is to take the group, after they have touched all these objects, into the galleries. And in order to have the experience of walking into the galleries, to smell the gallery, to hear the gallery, to hear the people in the gallery, to feel the walls, you know, not literally, but just as a blind person, I can tell you, you just know when those walls are there, when they enter into your own experience. And to give them the same kind of experience that people would coming to any museum, being able to walk through the galleries. And we always have people assisting them, of course. And we have the large print labels, which we put in a holder at the beginning of the exhibition, and people take them with them and return them when they are finished. And they have been very helpful, being that we are living in an age of living at a time in New York of an aging population, people losing their sight. It's really very helpful. They are always being used. They're very helpful to people.